Typically we see pumpkins for Thanksgiving and fall, autumn events, but even for Halloween, I think it's just really fun to be able to create some fun designs. Here I have a white pumpkin. This is just a ceramic pumpkin that I've got the lid that I'm just going to attach the lid. There's floral foam in the base to this. And we're going to do a freeform kind of garden style design with just some fun things, just some fun, unique characteristics that kind of follow along with Halloween. So I've got some, this is bamboo grass that I've just enhanced with some black paint. And I just want to create that, the typical line movement that we see with freeform, which is just kind of at an angle, kind of a horizontal feel where we come down to the focal area, which is down at the very bottom, kind of give it some horizontal line movements and just tuck some branches in just to give us depth and stability with this. Now I've also taken and color enhanced some foliages with Design Master Flat Black, and that's using our foxtail fern. So we're going to follow our line movements again just by placing them in there. And when anytime you do enhanced foliage with any type of spray paint, something that seals it up, it lasts a very long time. So you're able then to get a color impact that you want, but also have that same type of impact with the color, and then also have just something that's going to be fairly long lasting that we're able to work with that. I also have some done with some Fatsia, so I just taken Fatsia and just color enhanced it. So I'm going to use those down at my base. One on each on both sides so we can see that it just kind of just helps it enhance that pumpkin. We'll come back to the others in a second. So now I want to add just some emphasis on color. So with my pumpkin being so dynamic because of that color impact of white against black, we're just going to kind of continue that because I want it kind of dark and eerie for that Halloween type of theme. So I have some bullet allium that I'm adding to this, and that's just going to enhance that impact. So we've got scariness coming across with all this darkness. We'll lighten it up here in just a sec, but I want you to see that. So we'll come across here. I also want to come down to that very center with some allium. And of course, my rule of thumb again is if you put it on one side, make sure you put it on the other side so that you have those balances, color balance, physical balance all the way across. Again, we'll come a little bit shorter coming up on front here. So it adds to that color impact. Then I have some beautiful dark purple calla lilies that again are doing that same emphasis, falling, let's go a little bit more horizontal, following that line movement that we have. That one decided to be a little bit shorter. Here's one that's a little bit longer. And just let this free form do itself. You know, let it do the line movements that it has and let it likes to do so that you can create those lines. So again, coming out the front, getting it into our foam so we have that nice line movement coming across. So we're just letting it do what it likes to do. I also want to pull one across here, across our lid, so that we follow through with all of our color impacts. Again, dodging the branches and getting them in there. Okay, now I want to emphasize just a little bit more with the color, and I want to bring in some Dusty Miller. And this Dusty Miller I'm going to put down more towards the base because of that darkness. I want to have a nice little transition. I just don't want to go boom boom. I kind of want to treat that just a little bit softer so that it transitions into a color palette. So I'm putting just some Lacy Dusty Miller just down to that center, so then my eye catches this darkness and it comes down, oh, and then it hits that white. So that helps emphasize that. And then I have a black crow that I want to put in here, and I just have it on a wood pick. So it's going to kind of just nestle right on top of there. So we can see her in all of her glory. I want to also re-emphasize again this lines movement. So I have some Xanadu foliage that I want to tuck in here and just follow the lines that we've established and just give us a little bit of whimsy with that line movement. And I just love it. Xanadu to me is just the form of it, the smell of it is just really kind of fun. If you've ever smelled it, to me it smells like rhubarb after you cut it. So it just creates that fun look. I think I'm just going to turn you so you go that way for me. There we go. Turn around so I'll make sure that I've got it, my line movement the way I want. And one more time, let's go this way. There we go. And I also want to enhance this very focal area, so I'm going to use a few more little calla lilies in here. And then I also have some beautiful Florigine carnations. This is Moon Vista, which is that really dark purple. And we're going to put that down towards the center just to emphasize that purple color. Gives us that spookiness, the eeriness that we see with our Halloween influence. Of course, I have to put a couple to the back since I have them in the front. And it helps also cover up my floral foam, so it gives me a little bit of a basing technique to that. Now I also have, because I just have to use this in here because it was out of my garden. This is blooming oregano, and the color impact of this is the same. It's got that purple green impact that we've been seeing with the foliages and the flowers that we're using. It's like, oh, I kind of have to put this in there. And sometimes that's what really kind of drives things. It's like, oh, that would be perfect in there. And it just gets you all excited. And that's what the fun part of floral design is just getting excited about what you're doing and why you like that. So we're going to add that to it. We've got our little crow sitting there. And let's add a little bit more emphasis with the crow also. I just have some feather picks. So it kind of pulls that same texture from the crow in and gives me a little bit more depth and dimension and detail when we've added that in. So Halloween doesn't always have to be orange and black. It can just be black and purple. A little bit of white just to emphasize it, just to give us a really fun design in our pumpkin. That natural free form that we have, the emphasis on the crow, it's down on the inside, really kind of fun and magical when it comes to Halloween.